Back here talking Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the newest Buck, Antonio Brown. He joins the team this week to prepare for Sunday's big matchup with the Saints. Tom Brady thrilled to have his wide receiver back. Remember, he had him for a game in New England. Bruce Arians talked about the kind of role we should expect from AB on Sunday. Take a listen.
Yeah, it really depends how the game goes. If we're successful with the package that we put him in, we'll probably run it more. He'll have his role, and it could be 10 plays, it could be 35 plays. I wouldn't anticipate 60 plays for sure, but we'll just see how it goes.
Can I just say, I've never seen Bruce Arians without a hat on, ever. I would never have recognized him.
I've never
in a million years, I couldn't pull him out of a lineup.
He could have just.
Me too.
He could have just revealed the formula for cold fusion, and I would have missed it. I have no idea what he just said. I've never seen him look at
I didn't know.
What, Wild?
I thought we ran the wrong video. I swear I thought we ran the wrong video. I said there was no Bruce Arians. With that, we welcome in Brian Westbrook. Brian, you look just like you did yesterday, so this is going to help us out immensely because we are going to listen to what you had to say. But we just heard from the Bucs head coach Bruce Arians just talking about where AB is going to fit into that offense come Sunday. What kind of impact do you think he's going to have? Does he step in right away and make a huge impact, or will they ease him in your opinion?
Well, I think he's certainly going to have an impact as soon as he steps on the field. And we saw in the one game that he had with New England last year, he had 8 targets. That's because Tom Brady knows what he can do, and he knows how he can affect the game. But to me, the bigger impact as far as Antonio Brown is not going to be just what he's able to do as far as targets and catches. It's how the defense now has to adjust to him. How is the defense going to roll double coverage to Mike Evans when you have another game breaker on the other side? How can the defense double team a guy like Gronk if you have 2 guys on the outside that can be game breakers? You can't. And so here's the thing that happens to guys like Mike Evans and Rob Gronkowski. Now, maybe potentially instead of getting the number 1 cornerback or number 1 safety, now they're getting the number 2 guy or the number 3 guys because defenses have to be aware with what Antonio Brown can do. The biggest impact that I think Antonio Brown is going to have on this football team is really going to be for the running backs, Ronald Jones and Leonard Fournette. Now defenses have to say, okay, they can hurt us by throwing the ball so much that now we have to step our linebackers back another step. And we're seeing that same thing out there in Kansas City, Brandon, where defenses are saying, we know that Patrick Mahomes and Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce are so potent that we're stepping our linebackers back another step. That allows Le'Veon Bell to eat. That allows guys like Clyde Edwards-Helaire to eat. And we're seeing them continue to run the ball 4, 5, 6 yards a clip because the linebackers have to respect the pass game. That's the impact that Antonio Brown is going to have on this football team.
Yeah, B, you're 100% correct. And I think the most important thing when we talk about the impact he's going to make right away is that defensive coordinator now has to break down film on Antonio Brown. Okay, well, what can he do right away? How does he run a slant? How does he run a comeback? How does he run a 9-yard stop? How does he adjust to the back shoulder? Because those are the things that they can utilize him right away coming this week. So that is the biggest impact, because a guy coming in, you don't expect him to be in mid-season stride, mid-season form where he's going to come in and have 200 yards and could potentially go for, 2 touchdowns. No, this guy is going to come in, 3rd down, red zone, situational football, and be able to make a play here and there. We saw it in New England. But right now, these defensive coordinators and these guys on the defensive ball, they have to figure out, well, how do I stop Antonio Brown? Do we roll coverage to Antonio Brown if he's getting 20 plays a game, if it looks like he's trending to 20, 30, 40? How big of an impact will he be able to make with this package that Bruce Arians has given him?
So Antonio Brown will make an obvious impact, but he should not be the story of Tampa Bay's success. And me and Dusty put our heads together virtually and tried to figure out, why is Tom Brady being so successful? Because we had all this data and intel that Bruce Arians, no risk it, no biscuit, was getting quarterbacks hammered. Jameis got hammered, Carson Palmer got hammered, Andrew Luck got hammered, Ben Roethlisberger hammered. They just get hit a lot, and Brady's not getting touched. When he gets sacked more than twice a game, they lose games, and everything goes down. Completion percentage goes down, pass rate. So we're like, Dusty, why is this happening? Dusty's like, I figured it out. It's the offensive line. And Nick, these numbers are such an aberration in the league. I think the Packers get a little bit of bad luck. Excuse me, the Bucs get a little bit of bad luck, and they're going to be exposed. They played 98% of their snaps together. Highest by offensive line in the NFL. It's not close. They've only missed 10 snaps. 10 snaps all year. 513 of 523 snaps. The second place are the Colts. They played 86% of their snaps. The third place is the Rams, are 80. That's the gap between first and third. And just to give you more context, Nick, the Seahawks and the Steelers are both at 48%. So the fact that this offensive line is consistent and healthy and honestly, just like statistically improbable, means that anybody they put out there, Antonio Brown or Nick Wright or Brandon Marshall, he's going to be successful. But I think this is a warning sign. It's almost too good to be true. And you, Jenna, you catch that little bubble screen. I think it's too good to be true, Nick. I think that bad times are ahead for Tom Brady if this offensive line runs into any bit of trouble.
So, couple things. Folks might laugh when you say if you put Nick Wright out there, but have you seen Scotty Miller? All right, but more importantly, here on the Bucs side of things, that I think you would say, well, maybe it is sustainable. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but that reminds me so much of what the Rams did the year they went to the Super Bowl. The Rams, that Super Bowl year with McVay, I think their offensive line played, not every snap, but every game together was incredibly healthy, and it lasted throughout the season. So it can happen. But your point, you didn't mention, I'll bring up the Chiefs. The Chiefs have lost a guard to the season due to injury. Their right tackle is out right now. Like, offensive line injuries are pretty commonplace. Well, I guess all injuries are, but offensive line having all five stay together. But that is the path here. And I know Brandon thinks I hate Brady. I don't hate Brady. I was skeptical of Brady the last few years. And one of the reasons I was skeptical this year was because, well, I call it truth-telling, personally. But one of the reasons I was skeptical this year was because we saw what his numbers were when pressured and how they were dropping year after year after year. Well, the solution has been just never get pressured. And so with or without Antonio Brown, I think Wilds brings up a brilliant point, which is the key to Brady's success has been the cleanliness of that pocket and that offensive line, which they invested in, by the way. They spent money on. They traded up in the first round to get Tristan Wirfs. Like, this wasn't a happy accident. They focused on this. Right now, it's paying massive dividends for them, Jenna.
Yeah, and Wilds, we should also keep in mind, remember the last 2 years in New England, he had problems with that offensive line, right? Lost Nate Solder. I don't think, was it Isaiah Wynn that never actually played for them for like 5 minutes. Yeah, but that line, they kept shuffling guys in and out, and he had a hard time. We put a lot. Why, Wilds?
It's a great time. I had a rough week with Cam, and we got the Jets. I'm trying to be happy. I'll be like, and remember, Wilds, you stunk last year.
All right, well, we are still to come. We're going to talk about the other big news out of Tampa, and that is Tom Brady's new living arrangement. That is a tease, and I will leave it just at that. You know who else could have used Antonio Brown, not just the Bucs? How about the Green Bay Packers? Aaron Rodgers. Yet again, the trade deadline came and went, and Aaron Rodgers left without a big-time weapon on his offense. Where does that now leave Green Bay? We will discuss. That's next. This is First Things First.